Carter.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Autumn is almost here. We've gone from recording at like 7, 8 o'clock, and it's dark outside now where I am. It's probably very dark where you are.
It's 8:53, so it's even darker. But it wasn't, is the point we're trying to make. It was light. Now it's dark. But I must say, it's rained today. And you know what? I went out with straight hair today. And when there's optimal amount of rain, it just gives, do you get that? It gives you just a perfect little curl. Too much, you're frizzy.
Yeah.
But I can't wear this any other time apart from this evening now. Because I've got this lovely curl from the rain, but I can never get that naturally.
Yeah, mine goes like wavy, not curly. At the moment, it's very greasy. I'm due a wash tonight.
Oh, mine's very, that's kind of curly.
Curly
Sue.
Curly, be little curly. So tell me, what have you been doing?
This week, just been living my life and at 150 miles per hour.
As always.
I can't seem to slow down. And it's funny, I'm one of these people that when I've got nothing to do, I moan. I want something to do, I'm bored. I can't be at home. Me and my mum, we have differing opinions on this, where my mum, if she's got a day off, she loves it and she will sit at home and she will snuggle and she'll watch a movie and she won't leave the house if she doesn't have to. No. I cannot go a day without leaving the house, but then I moan that I'm tired. So
yeah, if I'm at home all day, I'm like, I'm bored, and Jack will be like, well, have we got any plans this weekend? I'm like, no, we're just sitting at home, we're not doing anything. And then it'll get to like 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon. I'll be like, what can we do? Should we paint the spare room? Should we do some DIY? He's like, let's do something. God's sake. I was like, I'm bored. But yes, this weekend we were out and about doing all sorts, went for lots of walks, and I went to see my nephew go and play his first football match, and it was very good.
That's cute.
He's in goal.
Was it nice?
Yeah, it was in goal.
What was the atmosphere of like kids football? Was it tense or was it actually nice?
I mean, so this is under sevens football. So they put like a string line around the pitch to stop parents like running on and getting involved. But yeah, no, it was really good, and he seemed to have a nice time. He saved some really good goals actually. It's because he's doing goalie training.
That's
cute. Very sweet. Yes, it was very sweet. But yeah, these kids do so many clubs. I'm just like, oh, okay. Yeah. They were like, can we come for a sleepover? I was like, whenever you want to come for a sleepover. They're like, right, but we've got football training on Saturday, football match on Sunday, and his sister has netball, horse riding, swimming, and I'm like, okay. I'll come to you then.
Exactly. And kids, and that brings us on to our theme of the week. I like to think of a nice jingle. What could we do? Theme of the week. Obviously, that's George of the Jungle, but it's theme of the week now. Hobbies. Oh yeah, hobbies. Which leads me on to Tom. Actually, told me that he went for a run. So he's signed up to a half marathon and he's running his socks off with one of our good friends. She's flying over and they're gonna run together because it's not for me. Not a runner. Not a runner.
Not a runner, not a track star.
No. And he went to the park and there were hobby horse people. So
on their broomstick horses.
Yeah, he said there were 8 or 9 of them just trotting around, and he said I didn't realise I've seen it in real life.
No, I thought it was just a TikTok thing.
No, it's real. He saw it. He saw it. He did. He did see it with his own eyes. Yeah.
Oh my, no, that's strange. I mean, if you're over the age of 5 and you're running around on a stick with a horse's head on it, you need to maybe real horse riding. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if the passion's there, go see a real horse.
Yeah.
There's lots of them.
Yeah. I have had many a hobby, and I, being that of someone on the spectrum and having ADHD, I don't stick to things for a particularly long time. So I buy all the gear. I do it for a bit. I either can't do it, practice makes perfect. No. If I can't do it on the first attempt, I'm not going to bother. Or I do it intensely for a short period of time and then I'm done with that. So the fact that we're now on 7 episodes of the podcast, because I'm going to count this as a hobby, because I've got all the gear.
Absolutely.
I've got all the kit and caboodle. but I
You
don't
got
have a
the kit and the
noodle. I
caboodle.
got the kit
That's
and the
nice.
caboodle, and it doesn't have a noodle. But yeah, this is my current hobby, I think, at the moment.
Yeah.
But I've had all
Again,
sorts.
the idea of a hobby sometimes excites me more than the hobby itself. Like I always love this. I watch Bend It Like Beckham. I mean, I love football, always have done, and always will do. I actually enjoy playing football. But I watched Bend It Like Beckham, and all the girls, they had like this sports bra on, and they had their like Adidas shorts, and they had their socks
Adidas
and
Predator
boots on.
trainers, the football
And then
boots.
they'd have
Oh,
like their bag. They had their bag with all their like gear in, and I was like, "That's going to be me. I'm going to have my sports gear on. I'm going to have my bag full of all my bits and pieces, and I'm going to go and do some run in the sun, and we're going to just train, and we're going to be like, yeah, friends." And then that's when I realized that I was very unfit and couldn't run very far, so it didn't
yeah.
matter what was in my bag. I needed to be
No,
fitter.
I was also in the Bend It Like Beckham fan club,
Yeah.
joined the school football team, but I did not look like Keira Knightley in a sports bra. I
No.
actually had more resemblance to Mr. Potato Head. So, I mean, and I enjoyed football, and I always played defence, but yeah, I don't know. It's one of those
Yeah.
things. Like at school, I did loads of clubs,
Yeah.
at school, and then equally lots of clubs outside of school as well. Like my parents are very keen on like getting us out and about and keeping us active, but as soon as I lost interest in something, that was it. You couldn't convince me to keep going.
Yeah, like I said, I played football for quite a long time when I was younger, and actually it makes me feel. It's bizarre how long ago that was. When I joined a football club, I don't know, I'm going to make this up now. 7, 8, maybe. There was no girls' team. There was no local girls' team. So I
No.
had to play for the boys. So I played for the boys' team. And I remember I just hated it. I would go there
Yeah.
and there was me and maybe one other. And it just was not the vibe for us. And then so because there were a few of us that then we started like one of the first girls' teams like in the area. And it was
Mm.
so cool. But then just little things. I mean, it's come a long way, which is amazing. But I remember we would always get the second slot. So all the boys would play first on the Saturday morning for their games. It'd be raided, they'd tear up the pitches, and then the
Yeah.
girls would play after. And because the boys had the changing rooms, we had to get changed in our car. And when you
Yeah.
look back, it's awful. And I remember all the dads, all the mums and dads, like my dad was the one who took me to the football, it was kind of our thing. And he would like, all the dads would kind of stand by the windows, and we'd just be like in the car trying to get changed. And then all the boys would come out from the change rooms. And when you look back, you're like, how unfair is that? Like,
Yeah.
why is that a thing?
I
But
know.
kudos to women's football now. Like it's incredible, absolutely incredible, and it's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, I like watching it, and I definitely follow women's football more
Mm,
than I think the
yeah,
Euros the other year did a lot for women's football, so
yeah,
especially in this country
yeah.
anyway. But yeah,
And
I
in
do like
Norway,
football.
in Norway, there's a huge drive, like not drive, but that like women's sport, girls' sport is huge here, and girls' football is massive, and it's just brilliant. And the facilities they have here is just it's
Mm,
unreal. Just everything's brilliant. You want to do gymnastics, you go to the hall, and it's got everything. And actually, lots of the youth kind of run the younger kids stuff. So if your child's maybe between like 6 and 9, it's often the teenagers that have sessions later that run the younger ones. So they kind of
oh, that's
like
good.
mentoring. Yeah, it's pretty good actually. It seems really nice here, which I love.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
Hobbies as well. I had a music phase, so wanted to be a drummer. Did the drums for a bit, loved that, but we could never get a drum kit at home just because of the price of it and all that.
Yeah.
And so then I said can I do the guitar? Did the guitar for a bit, and then I was like, can I do the keyboard? Did the keyboard for a bit. So I can't really play
I
anything.
do remember you playing the guitar quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
I do remember you playing the guitar, but I think that was more for dramatic effects than musical effects.
Oh yeah.
So it was all part of
Absolutely.
the Jess show.
Absolutely. And I think, wow, to these people that can actually do things, because I think you actually must put some time in. And I've
Yeah.
not. And I put
Yeah.
some time in, but not the amount of time that you need to be able to play an instrument. And I think,
Mm.
wowee.
I
Um,
think I know like before we were talking about speaking other languages, but I do think I'd learnt to play an instrument. Like I could
yeah.
sit and like copy people on the piano and on the keyboard and stuff, but not to a level where you could understand what I was playing. But yeah, not really music. My thing was always like doing stuff on the computer. But then, like when we were in secondary school, I did martial arts at secondary school, and I did this for quite a few years. I did a martial art called Choi Kwan Do. It's not Taekwondo, it's not karate, it's like a hybrid of the two. And it's completely made up. The woman that used to
I've never heard of this.
so I used to do it at the Melbourne Athletics twice a week. Choi Kwan Do. It was run by this woman who I think since has been arrested, but that's a story for another time.
Ooh,
but
googlies, googly.
I think she used her Choi Kwan Do to hurt someone. But it was just like a good way of keeping like active, and again, there were not many girls in the club, so I always used to get paired up with boys all the time, which, you know, if you beat them, then, you know, it's a bit of an ego boost. But yeah, it got to, we used to do like competitions and stuff, and you'd have your gradings to get your next color belt and stuff. But yeah, I did that for a little while, and then I soon lost interest in that. I think the club, there was just, I don't know,
that reminds me, for my guitar you do grades, and my teacher was like, oh, do you want to go in for grade 1? I was like, yeah, sure. So you had to learn like some scales and stuff, and my nan was like, do the Royal, I can't remember what it's called, the Royal Academy or something. She's like, you know, it's a really well recognised grade. I was like, yeah, absolutely, nan, yeah, put me in for that one. So put me in. I was like, what do I need to do? He's like, yeah, you just need to like on the guitar, and then play like a piece of music which we can practice. I was like, absolutely no problems. So then we did that, and then I turn up to this lovely place, and then they bring me in, and they're like, oh, get your guitar out. So I'm like, get my little classical guitar out, and then they're like, no, you can put that down, we're going to start with singing. I was like, beg your pardon?
What?
My heart dropped.
No.
Singing. And she's like, I'm going to play some notes if you could sing them back to me. And it was awful, and
Stop!
I was petrified, and I literally felt it was one of the worst things. So she was like, dee dee dee, and I was like, dee dee dee. And she looked at me, she was like, right. And then she was like, dee dee dee, and I was like, dee dee dee. Anyway, walked out of there thinking, she must have been like, who is this girl? I passed. Grade 1 guitar. What? Dee dee dee.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear. Dee dee dee. That's grade 1.
Yeah. All of our martial arts, like, to get graded, you'd have to do like a sequence of like block, punch, kick, spin, kick, whatever. You'd have to do one on your own, and then you'd
Wingardium
Leviosa, and then you'd have to do it in pairs, like against each other.
Yeah.
I think my parents got us to do this because me and my brother would just, you know, beat 10 ton of shit out of each other at home otherwise. So we got to do it, you know, with pads and all the rest of it twice a week, organised. But we did that. I did golf for ages, and I played golf for like the whole of secondary school. And we had to learn all about golf etiquette and blah 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 blah. And it got to the point where I was like 14, 15, and I did not want to get up at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning because I was at a sleepover on the Friday and was staying up really late. And my dad's like, you've got competitions, you've got golf lessons, you need to be up early for golf, la 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 la. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to stay up at 2 a.m. watching scary films with my friends. So yeah, I mean, we still kind of go to the driving range and stuff now, but I don't enjoy it.
And that's what we're like Tom. So I just love sport. I love playing sport, and I've kind of done tennis, football. I've done netball. I've done hockey. When I moved to Norway, I did a bit of kickboxing for a bit. Now I'm into CrossFit, and so yeah, kind of. I just love sport. Lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, but it's hard. You've got to kind of, like anything. A hobby is good, but at some point, sometimes you have to decide whether you're in or out, because I like that bit where you first start, you're the newbie, you don't actually have to kind of be that good. And then you keep going, you're like, oh, I can't just kind of play dumb to it now. and then that's kind of where, and that's where kickboxing got up to. It got tricky actually. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm improving. And I think hobbies as adults are really hard. I think when I look at it, I did so many hobbies as a kid, all these different clubs, and again, shout out to mum and dad for, I don't know how on earth you afford that,
I was
because
gonna
my
say hobbies are
goodness.
expensive. Like
Oh,
all the bloody golf. Like golf is very expensive. Like the golf lessons, entering competitions, the golf clubs, the like you have to wear certain type of clothes and all the rest of it. Like that is expensive. The martial arts was expensive because you got to pay for all your uniform and all your kit and blah 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 blah. Like it's so yeah, doing those things is expensive. So yeah, cheers, mum and dad for that. Sorry, it
yeah,
hasn't gone to waste because I'm quite good at pitch and putt.
exactly,
I'm
exactly.
very good at crazy golf.
I have good hand-eye coordination, and I'm able to serve over the net.
So you like playing tennis? You used to play tennis loads as well, didn't you, when we were younger? I swear
Oh, I
you
love
used to play
tennis. I
tennis.
love it. And
Yeah.
it's what I want to get into it here, but it's not really like a solo. You need
In
to
a
go with someone.
pair.
And it's also, it's one of the more expensive sports. It's one of those kind of elite sports where, I mean, a tennis racket is not cheap. And then
No.
here you've got to hire the court. And I've looked into it a few times. I need to. There's a tennis court club just around the corner, but again it's but that's why I think hobby as an adult is hard, because
Yeah.
also going in as an adult without much skill, like you kind of get thrown in and there's
Starting
people that are
something
really
new.
good and you're like, hi, I'm over 30 and I'm here to learn, so
Yeah. Yeah.
hi, I'm not an expert, or I don't know that rule.
No. It's like,
But yeah,
I feel like I don't know. I feel like my hobbies, and definitely as I definitely got as an older teenager, my hobbies were back in the day of like MySpace and things like that. Yeah, I've always loved doing stuff on the computer, and this is kind of how I got into doing graphic design. So I used to make people like pictures on Photoshop, and I still really enjoy doing stuff like that. I do more of it on my iPad now, but I used to like write code and stuff for people's like MySpace sites, and there used to be this thing called Pixo, which was like free websites, and everyone used to have their Pixo, and my friend would be like, "Can you help me code, like make this code?" And to the point where I even had my own Pixo website that was just codes for people to use, like, what are you looking for and this, and I just like,
that's very cool.
people pay an absolute fortune for stuff like that now. Like,
yeah,
how do my parents not think, Sophie, there's a career in that? Or instead it was, get off that bloody computer and go do your maths homework. But yeah,
exactly,
I would be up on the computer doing stuff like that till like 2 o'clock in the morning easily.
That's cool though. That's really cool, and that's such a valuable skill now as well. It's really, really cool, which is good. I need to. I think one thing as well, like, as an adult, I don't know. I'm constantly battling with this. Like, I want to. Whoopsie.
Sorry, hello.
She just threw her microphone off the table.
Constantly battling with oosh. That reminds me of my wedding pictures. I'm just constantly aggressively dancing in all of them. Bosh. That's what happens. Anyway, no, constantly battling with that. Working full time. I mean, we have to. If I had to, I would not.
Yeah.
But also just, you want to be out doing things, you want to do clubs, you want to have hobbies, but you've also got to take care of yourself, and you've got to, as an adult, find time to wind down and to manage yourself, because otherwise, but then you kind of feel guilty because you're like, I want to be doing all these things, I want to do tennis, I want to do this, and there's not enough hours in the day to work and process everything, basically. Do you find that? Do you think that's with you too?
I think as well, like, I struggle, like, I know what I want to do, but I really struggle with the motivation to go and do stuff. And it's like that, you going to work all day, then you come home and you maybe go to the gym, and I do the gym for like a bit of self-care, but also for like health and fitness. But then you've got to make your dinner, make your lunch for the work the next day, sort your animals out, tidy the house, clean up, check in with your mum, message your dad, talk to your friends, and then you're like, and then next thing you know, like you've fannied on since 5 o'clock since you walked through the door, and it's 10:15, and you're like, well, I've got to go to bed. So and I did get into, I don't know if you remember last year, I did the 75 soft challenge, which is
yes, you did. I remember that.
So it's like I can't remember exactly word for word, but it's the only time I have consistently sat down and read something.
Yeah.
So it's like read 10 pages of a book or 3 to 45 minutes, whichever. 45 minutes of exercise a day, 10,000 steps, 2 liters of water, eat well, sleep well, those sorts of things. And it's like, I do enjoy reading, and I can get really stuck into a book if I set the time aside to read. Otherwise, like, I won't. I've got so many books that I bought during that period where I was like, yeah, I'm going to keep reading. And I've got like all these books that I've not even touched for a year.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to manage it all. And speaking of hobbies, actually, I've joined a book club here with some colleagues, and it's so great because it allows me to kind of expand my network, being in a country that I'm not from, and also it allows me to read a book, because also I read trash. My husband, oh, it makes me laugh when I say that. My husband and my stepdaughter, they absolutely. So my stepdaughter, she's so good at, because she takes the mick of the books that I read, she will pick up a book and she can just pretend that this is a book I'm reading. She's like, oh, Jess, this is one for you. Sally and Roman meet on the stairs, but Roman has a busy project at work. He's just moved to New York and decided to chase his dreams. They don't get on at first, but will their romance bloom? ... And I'm like, oh my God, is that the... I'm like, is that the book? That sounds great. She's like, no, I've made it up. I was like, oh, brilliant.
Yes,
Brilliant.
but she's so quick-witted and just intelligent, and it's annoying. But yeah, like I need an easy to read book, but I also want something a little bit smutty and a little bit, you know, with a bit of a spicy storyline. But we even, like, between like our friendship group earlier in the year, we need to post pod, we need to get the girls on it, but we were reading, well, I say reading, me and Jess were doing audio book because, you know, I haven't got the time to read.
I like it in my ears.
Yeah, but do you know, I think commuting to work, that's, you can't do anything in that time, so use that to listen to your book. Like,
and that makes me feel good, because I feel like I've used that time productively. I'm not just listening to something that's not. I think actually that's me reading my book and commuting.
Not just listening.
That's great. It's like double, triple. I was just thinking actually of like what book would like entice you, and it's like a 50 Shades of Python. But then I thought, hold the phone, Grandma. 50 Shades of Python. For those who don't know, Python is a coding language, just FYI. Yeah, dirty dogs.
Yeah, dirty dogs. But yeah, I've seen, like, on TikTok, I get loads of things about reading. But yes, this is a note to everyone. You need to keep us all accountable. We're going to resurrect the book club. So there's no pressure. We just check in and we're like, so what do you think of the book? And then we end up talking about what we've been doing at work. But yeah, then we actually get to read. The last one we picked was a book called Big Swiss, and it was unbelievably bizarre. I didn't finish it in typical Sophie fashion. Dun, dun, dun. I think I went on holiday maybe. But yeah, so I mean,
what a weird book.
It was weird,
bizarro,
very weird. Yeah, but I've very weird. But I've read some good books because I've got a book club with my family. But 50% of the members of my family book club went off to have children, so are otherwise occupied and don't have the time to read now. So yeah, let's resurrect the book club for a bit of self-care, a bit of us time during our commute.
Yeah. And I need to make that choice. I think it's so easy to just make the choice of, I'm just going to watch TV, and I don't even watch it.
I'm on my phone.
And I hate it.
I know.
But TikTok brings me joy.
I know. Earlier today, I was like, my phone was like, bing, bing. Oh, I've just missed a call from my dad. Whoopsie, sorry, I'll call you back.
See, like we say, you've done that. Called your mum. Called your
dad. No, honestly,
he needs to call your dad.
Missed call from Papa. But like, I was like looking at my phone, so many notifications. I was like, oh. So I unsubscribed to a load of crap on my emails, and then I was like, shall I just delete Facebook? Shall I just delete Facebook? But I like Facebook for Marketplace, even though I don't buy anything on there. I just give my stuff away and sell my stuff on there. So it's handy to have for Facebook Marketplace. But I'm like, should I just delete Facebook? Because
it's hard. The battle with social media, I find it hard because I want it. I want to be involved. Like, I post on Instagram. I like that. It allows me to, I do think it's a form of seeing, especially, again, whether I'm just using this as an excuse, because I don't live in England, it allows me to connect with everyone and like my family, and like things like, you know, my dad can see what I'm doing without kind of me having to send him pictures. He can kind of check on my stories, and that's kind of what we do. And it's a way of everyone. And whenever I go back, people will be like, oh, I've seen your Instagram, I've seen that you've done this, and that, you know, you and Tom were doing that. And that's really not, and that's what I like about it. But then also I don't like it when I'm just scrolling and
Just
scrolling.
consumed by our
And
phones all the time.
it's just like, and there is, I think my algorithm, I like happy, as most people do. So a lot of mine is just stupid stuff. And I love that. Like TikTok can
Yeah.
make me barely laugh, like absolutely crack up. And I love that about it. But then sometimes it is all just like you think, oh, what's that? Or what's going on? And then suddenly you're thinking or worried about things. And you're like, oh,
Yeah. Because
I should be playing tennis.
Yeah, I had a bit of a little mental wobble. Oh no, the cat's on the desk. Good afternoon,
Hello,
Philip.
kitty kits.
Hello, Philip. Are you
Oh.
down?
Hello.
Go on, get down.
If Phil had a voice, what would he sound like? What would your cat talk like?
Right, you shilly woman. Where's my dinner? Whereas Sharon would be like, everybody so much. I haven't struck my belly.
Oh, I don't know what Pablo would be. What would Pablo be?
Hello,
He'd just be
Senora.
like,
Senora, I'm so happy to be here. Can I have that bread roll out of your hand, please, Senora? Thank you so
hello,
much.
hello, 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 señorita, hello.
Oh. Oh, my Wi-Fi froze. We're back. It's fine.
We're back. We're back. Oos, oos.
Oh,
we're
I've just
back.
had an alert. Your internet connection is unstable.
No, why?
But yeah, also I think taking the dog for a walk, it's not a hobby, but like, you know, it gets you out and about and looking after yourself, doesn't it? Fresh air. Fresh air.
The old FA. It's good for your mind, body, and soul.
Yeah. We don't live too far from like the seaside, so sometimes we'll go for like an afternoon, like if on a Friday night, go for a walk up and down the seaside with the dog. I always feel much better after that. I would just feel like it blows the cobwebs away. You know what I mean?
Oh, it does. And with exercise as well, sometimes with CrossFit, especially if I have to come home, check the dog, and then go back out, I come in and I'm like, oh, I think I've got a headache. I'm tired. Oh no. And I think I can't make it. And then it's like that Lee Evans sketch. I'm right and tempted. I'm right and tempted. And then I get there and then I'm like, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and woo, ooh, ooh. And then I come home and I'm absolutely buzzing.
Yeah. This is what I think I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, but like I go to the gym at like 6:30 to 7:30, and then I get in, have my dinner, and I'm wired. I'm like, oh yeah, let's do all the things and do all the stuff. Whereas if I could retrain my body to get up in the morning and have that energy before work, that would do me wonders. But instead, I end up doing things like that and staying up till God knows what time, watching Game of Thrones. Completed it, by the way. Completed Game of Thrones.
Yes. How do you feel? What would you give it out of 10?
Do you know,
if you were the Rotten Tomatoes gang, how many
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes would you give?
I would say 8.9 out of 10. I have a lot of unanswered. I've had a lot of unanswered. 8.9. Yes, I have a lot of unanswered.
I'm just writing it down so I can
questions.
see it visually. 8.9.
8.9 out of 10. Yeah, and I've got a lot of unanswered questions. The ending was a little bit questionable, but I see why they've done it. I understand. And now we're on to House of the Dragon. We've just finished season 2 of that, so we smashed that in a couple of days. Yeah.
Getting through it.
Yeah, and I just think, you know, people were like, oh, season 2 is a cliffhanger on top of a cliffhanger. But I'm like, they've got to build it up. They're doing this for a legacy. They want like 7 seasons of this, you know, you can't just. But anyway, so yeah, watching telly is a hobby. If I'm watching something engaging that engages my brain and that is like good to watch, like, you know, cliffhanger.
Absolutely, and I love good telly, but I feel like I'm finding good telly very rarely now. And again, I don't know if that's me and my brain, and I'm just getting more detached from being able to sit because I'm just busy, or if it is that just things are just less engaging and there's just not so much good stuff out. We're watching Watch Love is Blind UK. Shout out to anyone that's interested in sort of reality TV. incredible.
Oh,
Big
I've
fan.
watched that. Everyone's been going on
Oh,
about Love is Blind. I've not seen
yes.
any of it.
It's of all the Love is Blind series, this is the first one in the UK. Fantastic. Just the connections. It's great. It's really, really
Oh,
great.
okay. Well, I'll have to
yeah,
I have to watch.
definitely.
I also
Definitely.
I started probably watching people on YouTube in the eras of Zoella 2010. I'm gonna burp, sorry. There we go.
Excuse you.
Interval.
Did Zoella have a song? Did she have like a song or a theme tune or something?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I feel like she did.
No, but I do like watching YouTube, and a lot of the ones that I like watch still upload videos like regularly, and it's just easy watching. It's like a comfort thing to just sit and watch someone a day in the life go and do their shopping, or like, so I just watched Zoella take her 3-year-old to the Isle of Wight Black Gang Chine for her 3rd birthday, and it's the nicest like cuddly thing I've ever watched. It's just really just easy watching, easy peasy.
Nothing to it.
Yeah.
Which makes me think, so I'm always conscious of time because I think it might ping. We've actually got a would you rather.
We have got a would you rather. We've got 8 minutes until we get cut off, so
we can do it.
So
this is Hold the Line caller. We've actually got a voice note in, so thank you so much, Philip, you legend, who sent us a would you rather. So let's have a little listen and see what we think.
Can you hear this?
Came up with this, and I got some mixed results.
Yes.
So would you rather be able to speak all the languages in the world, but never be able to leave the country you're in? Or be able to travel everywhere for free, hotels and food included. You just have like your gold card that you show, and then everybody will just let you in everywhere, all the flights, all the cars, but not be able to communicate at all. Have fun.
What a question.
What a great would you rather.
That is
loaded
really good.
Both sides. Because I'm listening, I'm thinking, I know what I'm going to pick. That's hard. He's balanced those scales well. And that's what you want for a good would you rather.
I know. It's hard. I don't know. I think...
I know what my gut says.
My gut
says stay in the country and communicate.
My because I'm assuming, right, I can travel wherever I want, but if I come home I can talk to the people at home, right? Is that what we're assuming here?
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, we'll go with that.
We could talk, we could sprechen the English, and we can talk to our normal people, but you can go anywhere in the world and you can see all of this stuff, and you can explore, like, you know, experience all these cultures and all the food and see all the things. And
alone.
Yeah, there are some security issues around that, especially being a woman, aren't there? But you know,
I mean, you could go with someone, but like you cannot communicate. That I would struggle with that, and I think that the older I get, the more I need people around me. I need people, and I think I would find that so challenging to go away and not be able to. I mean, because even if I go out to a restaurant, I'll end up saying something to the person next to me, just making like a oh, I see you got the burger and chips, did you? Good choice.
Oh no.
Like, okay. And yeah, I'm a commute. Like, I'll be waiting in a line and we'll be queuing. I'm like, well, what do you think? A long queue? And that's me. I like to communicate, and I think I would struggle big time.
Oh, I don't know. I just feel like our holidays in the last couple of years have completely changed. For the last 11 years, Jack and I have been Ibiza, raving, misbehaving, and for the last 2 years, we now go on hikes, we go to lakes, we go and find waterfalls. We've done a lot more UK holidays, we've done a lot more like sightseeing, exploring, going to places for good food, and I just think, imagine all those like amazing things you could see and touch and smell somewhere else.
Yeah,
and then you can come home and tell people about it.
I mean, there's wow, the oh, what's the word?
And also, I do like kind of journaling and writing stuff. Like, I could just imagine, like, you could be like really creative in that. Like, in that space of like being on your own and like writing stories and writing.
I could see you being like a vlogger, actually. I could see you doing a vlog.
Hi guys.
Yeah, you'll be like, hi everyone. So we've just landed on this tiny island, and here is a penguin. Hello, penguin.
Yeah, I think if we have technology and I can find my way around with technology, it's a bit like that Race Against the World. Have you seen that race across the world?
I've heard it actually.
My
It's
mum
on
goes,
BBC.
yeah, my mum talks about it quite a bit, and she's like, "Oh, we should go on there," and I'm like, "Hell to the no,
Hell no,
hell no." But yeah, I think my answer is not be able to talk to anyone, but go and see it all.
But I think actually you will probably be the majority. And imagine having a gold card that's just like, oh, I want to go to so and so first class. Yeah, like you say, Philip says, flash a card, in you go. Access granted.
Access granted.
Is there anywhere that you're, if I said, right, you can get on a plane and go anywhere tomorrow, first class, all paid for, 2 weeks, where are you going?
Oh, where would I go? I would love to go to Hawaii.
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
Always wanted to go to Hawaii, but I think and Japan. Oh my god,
that's mine. Mine is Japan. Mine is Japan.
If I wanted to go and like, I mean, there's going to be a language barrier in Japan, isn't there? Crikey! But that is on our bucket list, is to do
we'd love to do that.
Osaka, Tokyo, and Kyoto. Because the reason why is because we watched like James May do like a tour of Japan, and I was like, wow, that looks so. I just blows my mind.
I just think their culture looks so amazing, and I love the idea that it's actually really different to our culture, and I think that's what is inviting about it. It makes me want to go and because you can go to all these places, but most things are the same, right? As well, the culture is the same, where you kind of the food's pretty much the same, whereas there it looks incredible. No, we also would love to go to Japan. Maybe we can do like a big Japan holiday for our 50th. Maybe we just do
excellent, like to go and see like the cherry blossoms and stuff.
Yes.
And, Japan would be
I find on
incredible.
TikTok, and I tell lots of people that you need to tell people where you get it from, because it's it's not a reliable source, really, is it? It's not reliable. It's just like their convenience shops, and just like
where you
can
get the ice out the thing and you put the drink in, and and
it's just like
ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's nice.
A girl I went to college with lives in South Korea, and she just some of the stuff she posts on like Instagram and social, it just blows my mind. I'm like, wow, we are like worlds apart in terms of like culture, and it's just amazing.
No, that is exciting. That's really exciting, the travel aspect, and that's why I think we should all work 2 to 3 days a week. I mean, I'll do 3. I'm not lazy, but let's spend our time doing other things. She says, sleeping in and eating porridge.
The takeaway, all right, Goldilocks. The takeaway from this episode is we all need to work a 3-day week, but get paid full time, so that we can sustain our hobbies and our mental health and self-care.
So walking away, what is it you want to do more of? So after this old PC podcast, what do you want to do more of?
I need to read more, and I need to get outside more, and just like I have like when I'm tidying up, I say to myself, don't put it down, put it away. Don't put it down, put it away. And I need to change that to don't sit down, go outside. Don't sit down, go outside.
What's great is as well, like Tom's so outdoorsy, and Tom's a doer, which is really, really nice. And he kind of helps me to do that more. And yesterday he was like, oh, should we put the fire pit on? And I was like, yeah. So it was like we didn't watch telly at all. So it was we had dinner, and it was like 8 o'clock, and he's like, right, fire pit's on, and we literally just sat outside chatting, and it was completely dark, and we were just sitting by the fire, and it was really nice. And it got to, and again, we were just chatting. I was like, oh, it's 10:15, we better go to bed. And he was like, yeah. And then the fire pit went out, and that was it. And it was really nice. We just chilled. I had a cup of tea. Tom had a little whiskey. So it's just really nice to do something else and be outdoors. And no, it's beautiful. Incroyable.
What are you going to
speak Norwegian? My thing is, I want to say, yes, phone down. I always need to put phone away. I need to put the phone away, I think. Yeah, I want to do more reading. We've got a new book in the book club I'm in, so I need to get crack-a-lacking with that. So yes, I think I want to do that. And I really, 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 really want to learn Norwegian. And again, it's just lazy. I just need to do it. I just need to try. Because that would be really cool if I could speak Norwegian.
Yeah. Loads of people do like Duolingo. One of my friends, honest to God, we've been out in a club in the middle of the dance floor, and she's like, I need to do my Polish lesson. She doesn't talk like that. She's a Geordie, so it's more like, I need to do my Polish lesson. And I'm like,
that's fantastic.
And
I wish I had a Geordie accent.
No, well, yeah, but she's got like so many streak on this frigging app. And yes, yeah. And then we went on holiday to Berlin, and we'd had a long day walking around, and our heads hit the pillow. And she's like,
Duolingo!
I was like, Duolingo! And I was like, oh my God. Yeah. But have you tried doing Norwegian on there, or is it?
No, yeah, I do. I just. No, I do. It kind of gets a bit repetitive when you do it every day, and it's great. It's fantastic, and I think I would learn way more if I did it. So this is just, but I get it, but it teaches you things like some weird stuff, like the cheese is big. Because it's trying to give you the vocabulary. When actually at the moment I go to a CrossFit session and I cannot understand a word she's saying other than 5 reps and you've got to be strong.
Yeah, right.
Otherwise, and then I just look around, I'm like, and I'd love to be able to. So I thought about like maybe getting a tutor, and then I can say I'd love to learn like some each week, say, we want to know how to go to the supermarket and order things, and I'd like to be able to understand some vocabulary linked to CrossFit.
Yeah.
And then we could kind of go over things that are with us. I also need to go to a class as well, because language, you just need to practice it. You need to, and I'm just not at the level where I can actually try and talk.
Yeah. I think it's
I can say tiny words.
Because it's difficult for you, because a lot of the people that you work with speak English, and you're in a predominantly English setting. So like you can't practice it as much at work. So
yeah, and the Norwegians are incredible at English. As soon as they hear that you are English, they love to speak English, and they'll be like, nope, we can speak English. And you're like, actually, it's much easier because I need some special dog food or whatever.
Yeah.
And I could competently say hello. I can say, can I have a bag? Can I have 2 bags? For the shopping. I can say no. I know if they ask me if I'm a member, and I can say yes, I'm a member. Like H&M.
H&M.
I could say I'm a member. And yeah, so I'm well on my way.
Wow. Can they not tell like, when you walk in somewhere and you're like, and they're like, English?
I think they just look at me and think, yeah, she's English. You can tell. But yeah, no, absolutely. And again, because I'm such a communicator, it is hard for me. There's lots of places where I don't talk. Like at CrossFit, I rarely talk with people, and I would normally just be chatting. And they encourage you to chat, but there's always this thing as well. I only speak English, and they all speak English, but then I also think, I just don't want to be that person every time that's like, sorry, I only speak English.
Yeah.
And then it's not always easy for them, but yeah.
No.
Yes. Next week, I would like to talk about briefly, if we won the lottery.
Yeah.
What is it that you do? So listeners, have a think. We're going to put a little story up. I want to know, if you win the lottery, we're talking big bucks, right? Not like
Euro
ridiculous.
millions. If you want
we're
the
talking,
Euro
what should
millions.
we go? 5 million. Because it's life changing.
It's enough.
But it's also, you haven't got 40 million. So I'd like you to have a think, listeners, have a think. If you won the lottery tomorrow, what are you doing? What are you doing with that money?
Okay. Très intéressant.
Oui.
Oh, okay. We'll put it to you, listeners. We'll put a little box on the old Instagram.
Yeah. Well, anyway, tusen takk for idag. That means thank you very much for today, or 1,000 thank yous for today in Norwegian.
And the same as last week, and in English. Bye.
Bye. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. If you've made it to the end, well done for another episode of nonsense. Thanks for listening. I now need to go and walk my dog around the block.
I need to go and prep my lunch for tomorrow. Very exciting.
What I will say, actually, I remembered what I was going to say. If you're listening to this and you've made it to the end of the podcast, go and clean your makeup brushes. I did mine today because my face is looking battered. I clean my makeup brushes because my skin is in a state. If you're thinking, this is your sign. If you've made it to this, right? Go and make a cup of tea and go and clean your makeup brushes, you dirty pig.
You dirty. So the moral of the story is if you're looking battered, it's probably makeup brushes and not that you're over 30 and live a stressful life.
Yeah.
So don't worry, kids.
Get some ice clean off TikTok shop, babes, and go clean your makeup brushes.
Just get some off TikTok shop. Sophie loves TikTok shop, don't you?
Oh yeah,
you love TikTok.
I've had a minute.
It's really hard to say.
TikTok
shop.
You end up saying
TikTok shop.
TikTok.
Oh, TikTok shop.
That's
TikTok shots.
That's a different website entirely. Right.
Anyway,
thank you so much again for listening.
Latest potatoes. Adios, amigos. Peace
and in
out.
English, bye.
Bye.